Hello everyone, welcome back to the Fire Emblem Advent Calendar. Today is day 9. This time we're going to have JBR talk about his fourth favorite unit. Go ahead, JBR.
Okay, today we're talking about a fan favorite. We're talking about one of the best Fire Emblem lords in the series. We're talking about Sigurd. Let's go. Oh man,
Hey.
Sigurd is so based. There's so much to talk about. I think everybody loves Sigurd. Is there anybody who hates Sigurd? You must be weird if you hate Sigurd. Must be a weird person. So Sigurd is just a very noble guy in a good way. He's just like a good person. He tries to do the best thing. What's so cool about Sigurd, or I guess fascinating, is his life is sort of a tragedy. It goes pretty well at the start, and then the war starts. Then he has to fight like some of his friends. His wife gets kidnapped, and then the end of part 4. I won't go too in depth because spoilers in case anybody hasn't played it.
I can just put a spoiler warning, dude.
Okay, I put a spoiler warning. It's just a tragedy. Like the last 3 chapters of FE4 are just so tragic. He loses his 2 best friends, his wife gets kidnapped, and then his entire army gets backstabbed by Arvis, and he dies. Oh my god. I love the tragedy of the end of Gen 1 for FE4. And Sigurd is such a likable character that it just makes the tragedy in part 4 so impactful for me. And I think that's what I really like about Sigurd, is he makes the story of part 1 or Gen 1.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. I really like Sigurd. The thing is, like, it's kind of interesting because, like, he's a lord, but he's not a lord, if that makes sense. Because, like, he's not really like the prince of the country or anything, and also, like, he just doesn't really act like noble, if that makes sense. He's like loves everyone. He like loves the common folk and the noble folk. He just, for instance, like, he doesn't see people for their like rank or stats. He sees them for who they are. Like, he saw Ira as just someone protecting a loved one. He didn't see her as an enemy. And he saw Shannon as just a kid, not the prince of a nation. Sigurd is just all-around good guy. He will reach out and help everyone he can. The thing is, like, that just kind of bites him sometimes, though, because he sees someone in need, and he just helps them out immediately. He doesn't really think first, and that's kind of what leads to his demise, sadly. But I don't really think of that as a bad trait. I think of that as a good trait. And also, his leadership stars helped me out so much in my one movement run. It's because, like, everyone was nearby. Like, those things just really came in handy. Thank you so much, Sigurd. Fellow Blake, BA, any thoughts?
For me personally, the coolest thing about Sigurd is that doesn't have that many interesting characteristic traits. It's mainly his actions that reflect upon who he actually is, which is what I love about characters. I don't like it whenever we're told what this character does. I like it whenever this character does things and we're completely shown on what he does.
Yeah.
You like showing, not telling.
Yes, definitely. That's the basics of any good story. You show what happens. You don't tell the viewer what happens.
Oh yeah.
Off free houses. Hey, look at this book. Thanks. What book?
Yeah.
Yeah. I only played through FE4 once, but I could honestly say it's probably my second favorite Fire Emblem game, maybe third, depending on if I like Path of Radiance or Genealogy more. Sometimes I'm really flip-floppy, and it's like a really close second, third place kind of scenario. It's either barely second or barely third. There's no in between for it. Sigurd's pretty cool. It sucks that pretty much the whole game is like a bunch of people die because he kind of got the hots for a girl. That's FE4 summed up.
Too hard.
Yeah, it was like, oh, damn, I want me a piece of that. The world's like, please don't. I'm pretty sure there was even a guy that was like, yeah, this girl cannot leave this village. Sigurd, but hot. It's like, no, Sigurd, bad.
Yeah.
Sigurd, no.
So-
Sigurd, yes.
Pretty much. But yeah, he's a really cool guy. He's the first pre-promoted protagonist. Just saying, he's like a paladin. As like he doesn't need to be babied at all. He can solo chapters from the start. What other Fire Emblem lords can do that?
He can solo all of Gen 1. He's a god.
Exactly.
Oh,
Okay, to be fair, any character can solo Gen 1.
But he
don't
does it
think
with
Sylvia
exceptional
can.
ease.
Yes, he does it exceptionally well, but any character can do
Alright.
it. I've heard of stories of literally
I
Arden.
don't think Deirdre
soloing.
can.
Right.
Wow, you got a point. But yeah, he's an absolute monster. The only thing I have bad to say about him is legendary Sigurd and Faye. Holy freaking crap, is he a monster? If the legendary Sigurd did not exist, he'd be one of my favorite. Based. Faye did him too well and just made him obnoxiously OP. Where it's like, hey, do you have a cab line? No? Well, get screwed. You fail. Based. Alan, do you have Sigurd? No? Oh, you fail.
Yep, true.
It's like, really? Ether raids got turned into a joke just because of him. If you're not using save skills, you're using cab lines and you're using Sigurd. It's one of those two. There's nothing else you could possibly do. Anything else is basically trash at this point. It's depressing.
It is pretty
I don't
low.
like because power crept an entire game mode.
Yeah, that's fair. So I'm like in the minority here where I don't like FE4 like even at all, but Sigurd is a hard exception to that. He's honestly probably like my third favorite character, maybe fourth favorite character in that game. There's a lot of good to him. I very much enjoy, like Blake said, where it's shown and not told what he does, and I very much enjoy, well, I mean, he's a handsome guy, he's got a great design, you know, and I think I really enjoy his relationship with Deirdre, even though it's not perfectly well executed, you know, it's not exactly the, you know, it's they meet and then they get married. But you know what? Sometimes that's all you need. I very much sympathize with, well, some of that.
I mean, that was you with Camilla.
A little
You saw
bit.
her, it was love at first sight.
Basically. But no, I just enjoy the relationship. I don't know a whole lot about it, of course, because I haven't finished the game, but, you know, from what's been displayed in Faye and from what I have read, I mean, I think they fit well together despite not really knowing each other very well. It's clear that they were very much written in a way that, you know, they kind of had to work for the sympathy aspect of what does eventually happen to her to roll over. But I don't know, I just enjoy them both, and you know, there's no secret that Sigurd's a great unit. He does everything you need him to do and then some. Nothing bad to say about him, really. The only thing is, like, maybe he does carry the game just a little bit too hard, and that's not really on him so much as it is on the game's design.
Yeah. Any final thoughts?
Sigurd is awesome. I love him, and he makes the story what it is, and the story is really good. So
Yep.
Oh yeah.
The only thing that I want to add on is a horse go burr. Okay.
True.
True. Not in one movement.
Burnt.
One movement, everybody goes bruh.
Bruh.
Bruh. Instead of burr, it's bruh.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for watching, and we will go and see you guys next time. Bye.
Later.
Bye.
Yeah. See you, everybody.